Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. Firstly, I want to apologise for the glare you're probably going to see on my glasses. I've noticed that with these ones, I've recently got them reglazed to my latest prescription, but I've also got them as the reactive ones. So when it's dark and stuff, they turn into like sunglasses. And I've found that when I'm on camera, they really do glare and really shine and reflect. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that if you see any beams of light, but they're my glasses. What are you gonna do? They're helping my vision. So yeah, but anyway, I have come here today to do a little bit of a birthday book haul. I treated myself to some books, and also a couple of books like outside of that, but sort of around the time frame I thought I'd include as well. So we'll start off with the first two books that I believe I got in Asda like a little bit before my actual birthday. The first one I'm not actually going to be talking about at all because it's the third book in a series that I have yet to start. I know, are we surprised? Because at this point I am not. But that is Hannah Nicole Mayer's Accomplice to the Villain. The first book is... do I have it there? I know I'm going to see it like when I finished filming. It's somewhere behind me, I swear. But I think it's like... here it is. Assistant to the Villain, Apprentice to the Villain, and Accomplice to the Villain. I remember when the sequel came out and I was like, have I got this book? Is it the same thing? Because the titles are so similar. But no, they're all very different books, but like in the series. I'm really looking forward to diving into this, and now that I've got the third one, I'm hopeful that it will push me to read them kind of like back to back, if I enjoy them, of course. Hopefully the goal is to enjoy, so hopefully that's the outcome. The next one I saw is by Mallory Arnold, and it was really interesting. It's kind of a very basic cover, in at least the UK cover that I've just seen in Asda is basic, but that kind of allured me, and it's How to Survive a Horror Story. I really like the title, especially because I just read a book by Justine Fusella. It's a three-way name and I can't remember the order and all the names, but it was How to Survive a Slasher, and it was a YA kind of thriller horror. And this kind of like jumping in my head because I was like, oh, I just read something with a similar title. Maybe I'll enjoy this one. And this sounded fun. I think it's adult, so a different kind of vibe to maybe the YA vibe that I was reading before. But this follows 7 authors who enter a manor. Can they survive the story within? When legendary horror author Mortimer Queen passes, a group of writers find themselves invited to his last will and testament reading, expecting a piece of his massive fortune. That's a bit presumptuous, isn't it? Each has their own unique connection to the literary icon, some known, some soon to be discovered, and they've been waiting for their chance to step into the author's shoes for some time. Instead, they arrive at his grand manor and are invited to play a game. The rules are simple: solve the riddle and progress to the next room. If they don't, the manor will take one of them for itself. Oh, I'm really hopeful it's like a sentient haunted house, because that's one of my favourite tropes. You see, the Queen Estate was built on the bones of the Mortimer's family, and like any true horror story, the house is still very, very hungry. Haunted house! I'm so excited. This sounds really, really good, and it's a nice chunky book as well, so I'm hopeful that I will love this. I do want to take a little segue again before we get into the actual books that I got for my birthday, because I was kindly gifted a copy, I think it's a finished copy by the looks of things, by Black Crow PR, which is very kind of them. This is a new release coming out at the end of September, and it's The Haunting of Morsley Manor by George Morris Diarth. I might be pronouncing that wrong, I do apologise. It says, where the dead don't rest and the living may never leave. And I believe we're following a paranormal investigator who seems to be in a bit of a rut with life. Everything like personally is going wrong for him. His partner and him are struggling. I think they might have broken up. His career's kind of taken a bit of a nosedive, particularly because the case that he was previously on left most of his camera crew deceased. But he gets an offer that he can't really say no to from a mysterious woman inviting him to a house. Again, another very haunted house. It's supposedly supposed to be haunted. It was previously off limits to paranormal sleuths, but to drum up publicity about the house, this lady hires Eric to perform and host a paranormal investigation on the premises. It sounds so good. So I've got another haunted house. Maybe that could be a cool vlog, or like, I don't know, video compilation, reading haunted house stories. That might be fun. We are coming up into the spooky months now, so yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that. I believe it was supposed to be released in the second to last week of September, but I think it was pushed back a week, so look out for it in the last kind of week of September going into October. Okay, and now we are on to the books that I got myself for my birthday. First one, not gonna lie, it got sold to me at the kiosk. They said if I was interested, because of the sort of books that I picked up, I guess, but also because they were promoting it probably, if I was interested I could get it for half price. It did sound like something I would enjoy, so woohoo, half price books and all that. So this is an exclusive edition as well, which is fantastic, and it is The Great Wen by Alan Moore, and it kind of sounds like Ben Aronovich's Rivers of London series, which I have still got sealed right in front of me. I've yet to read that series, but I know it's one that I'm probably going to really enjoy. Well, I've got the box set, so I'm hopeful that I'll enjoy it because I've already bought them. And it sounds kind of similar to that vibe. So this one is set in the year of 1949 in London. Hapless second-hand bookseller Dennis stumbles through a city still shaking off of the war. While out procuring inventory, Dennis's life changes forever when he chances upon a book that shouldn't exist, an entirely fictional book from inside another novel. That also gives me Cornelia Funk's Inkheart vibes in tone as well. I don't know, it also feels like it's going to be a book about a book, and I like things like that, so hopefully I love this. Also came with a little bookmark inside with a little excerpt of one of the passages from the story and some really cool art on the inside. I'm guessing it's one of the maps of this world's London, which sounds really cool. Oh, it's a nice like thick page as well. It's got black sprayed edges on the top to the bottom and the sides. It looks really, really cool. Oof. Other books from this author, I don't know if I've heard of him before. Oh, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I've definitely heard of that book. Lost Girls, maybe. I'd have to see the cover of that to see if I recognise it. I quite like the contents. It looks like it's broken down and it kind of gives me like Victorian vibes. I don't know why. Maybe it's the lamp, I don't know. Ooh, and we've got another more detailed City of London map. That looks so, so cool. Oh, I'm very excited. Very intrigued. Okay, looking forward to diving into that one, as I always am. I got to choose some free bookmarks as well. I couldn't pass up. So I've got Cat Dragon, which sounds like it's going to be a really cute book. How adorable is that? On the back it says Welcome to Tangleroot Valley. How darling is that? I've also got the Catabis, is that how you say it? Catabis book by R.F. Kwan, bookmark, sorry. It's kind of giving Dante's Inferno, and it says To Hell with Love at the back of it. And then also this book, which I was gonna pick up, I kept seeing so many times, every time I flicked open that book, I think it was like 3 times. 2 of them were Japanese translated fiction, and one of them was, I think, might have been American or English fiction, and all 3 of them said a recently rediscovered book or lost for 30 years, and I was like, what's all of this literature like suddenly coming back? And I think this was one of those books. It was Murder at the Black Cat Cafe by Seshi Yokomizo, and this looks so, so cool. It looks awesome, and there's more from this author as well at the back, and it's apparently the Japanese version of Agatha Christie, and it's been advertised on the Between the Covers BBC show. Oh, they're so gorgeous. Right, back to books. Well, book adjacent, I got a colouring book, which is bookshops. What? Okay, I got this. It's so cute. Cozy bookshops to colour in. I think there's 45 pictures, and I love colouring in, so this is definitely something that I'd just do whilst I'm listening to an audiobook, just to chill. I never complete them though, so I don't know, but I thought because it's book themed, it might be nice to actually like pull out, and if I ever do another sort of make my own reading journal, like an A4 one, I can always like have these as art pieces that I could cut out and stick in there. Do you know what I mean? Like if I've got a big enough reading journal, that can be like a spread for, or the background for a month or something, if I am setting up the reading journal from scratch rather than having the pre-made ones, which I have been doing a lot recently. But yeah, the setup just got a bit too much after a while, but if I do, I've got these sort of things to fall back on. Now this one I wasn't particularly looking for, but it did shout out at me, and I think it might have been one of the books that said it was a lost book that's recently come back into the light, and this is called They by Kay Dick, and look how stunning that is. It does look very ominous. I think it's kind of dystopian in feel, but kind of classic in the telling. It says on the back, I remembered how they began, a parody for the newspapers. No one wrote about them now. So it also feels very timely. This is Britain, but not as we know it. They are coming closer. They begin with a dead dog, shadowy footsteps, confiscated books. Soon the National Gallery is purged. Eerie towers survey the coast. Savage mobs stalk the countryside, destroying artworks and those who resist. They capture dissidents, writers, painters, musicians, even the unmarried and childless. In military sweeps, they cure these subversives of individual identity. Survivors gather together as cultural refugees, preserving their crafts, creating, loving and remembering. But they make it easier to forget. Oh my god. This one was lost for over 40 years apparently. It was originally written in 1977. It's a rediscovered dystopian masterpiece of art under attack, a cry from the soul against censorship, a radical celebration of nonconformity and a warning. It sounds like a very important piece of literature and I'm really excited to have my hands on it. Okay, we are coming to the last two books now. So one that I just saw the cover of and I got really excited at how beautiful it was. Never heard of it. I don't think I've heard of it anyway, but this is Philippa Rice's Rain Cloud Palace, and how could I say no? Like, it kind of matches the vibe. I've got like the dark version of this like going on my top at the minute, but how stunning is this? Oh, it's a fantasy, of course, by the sound of things, although I did find it in the like general fiction section, so I don't know if it's more like loose fantasy or what really, but it just sounded fantastic and I love that colour on the inside. It sounded absolutely brilliant. So a little bit of what it says at the top. Tiffany Treadle spends her days making and selling magical items at the Magpie's Nest. An enchanted feather that keeps off the rain and a mechanical owl who can read aloud are among her favourite inventions. But everything changes when Evnie's abilities catch the attention of the occupants of the nearby Rain Cloud Palace. Can she magic up the victory needed and be the hero she never thought she could be? Okay. Oh, it's got a nice like creamy beige hardcover. It does sound really cool. There's more to it, obviously. I've just kind of skimmed that for you guys here. But on the back is what I really wanted to read. It's like a little excerpt from the story. It says, what is magic? Is it energy? Is it a dream come to life? Does it come from within or from an outside source? It took the humans a long time to even begin to understand it. Our kind understood it implicitly because it was of us and we were of it. Magic has always existed in this world. It lives in all things unevenly. It flows through nature, helps things grow and change. Magic guides life into its best and most beautiful forms. It looks so magical. And lastly, I'm not going to be reading what this one is about because I do want to go in it with the least amount of knowledge. But I want to think of it. I don't know if it actually is. As I said, I've done the least amount of research, but as I've spoken about the bookmark, which I've briefly brought up, I do feel like it might be a Dante's Inferno kind of vibe, and I want to imagine that it's kind of a slight akin to Babel, and that is R.F. Kuang's Catabasis. Why? What's with the words? Babel, Babel. I say Babel. So most people say Babel. Catabasis. I don't know how to say this, but stunning. I'm really looking forward to trying this because Babel was amazing. That's the only R.F. Kuang book that I've read, but I think this sort of era of her work is the ones that I'm really intrigued by personally. But I swear, Alice Law, I swear that's a character in Babel. I really hope it is. I hope the connection is there that I'm thinking is there. But yeah, it says, Alice Law, you naughty girl, you're trying to go to hell. I don't know. Oh my god, this looks so cool. So cool. But as I say, I do not want to know any more really. Oh, it's gorgeous. Then that. Who's to say that I won't just have a quick little breeze at the blurb when I do dive into reading this, but for now I kind of want to go in with little to no information, shall we say. Oh, it just looks like it smells amazing. Oh my god, it just smells so good and it feels nice as well. So yes, those are the books that I treated myself for my birthday, as well as a couple of books beforehand and a gifted book from Black Crow PR, who I am always grateful for. Anyway, let me know if you guys have picked up or read already any of these books that I've mentioned here today. And for now, I shall thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you in another video soon. Bye.